Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I got this article, and it's about more and more women joining the Ukrainian military. And I would like to talk about this reality and, you know, mention the pros and the cons on the issue. So this article comes from Fox News from today, July 9th, 2022. And it says Ukraine military sees spike in female volunteers amid war with Russia. Ukraine's military has seen spike. Okay. And it says roughly 1,000 women have volunteered to fight since the war broke out in February, Ukraine Deputy Minister of Defense Hanna Maliar said. And it says here that there's not going to be a mobilization, but in the lead up to the Russian invasion, Ukrainian lawmakers revised an existing law that could require women aged 18 to 60 who are fit for military service and worked in certain professions to fight in Ukraine's military during a time of war. And now all female conscripts will see the front. Not all female conscripts will see the front lines as men have traditionally helped with logistical support. Though in 2014, when Russia first invaded the Donbas region, well, that's very, very much debatable, 257 women were granted awards for their combat services, 9 which were awarded posthumously according to advocacy organization Security Women. So, let's talk about this. It says in 2020, women made up nearly 16% of Ukraine's military, 16%. But this percentage has likely been altered by the sheer number of reservists called up in the war against Russia. All right, let's talk about it. Why? Let's start with history and then go to the current events. Historically, men were fighting in the wars. Why was that? Well, you can say first, because I would go to anatomical and physiological realities. In the past, physical strength was the basis of a fight. I'm not talking about courage and so on, because that it could be courageous and be a woman, and it could be courageous and be a man. But courage is also from within, and it's also you can train that. By how? By getting involved in dangerous situation. You become more and more courageous because you know the limitations of certain situations. Now, if you don't know the limitations, then you're afraid. But you know the limitations, you know how far you can go, you know how far the event can go, you know what expects you over there, you know what you're gonna face. The unknown scares us more than the known, even if the known is something huge, big, whatever. Now, so that's one. The other thing, it was the so-called gender roles. Women were supposed to stay home and they were supposed to, make love to them, have kids. They would take care of the home. You go and, again, using your muscles and all that, make the kill, bring the food home and work. Everything was physical, mostly. The same reason was why when you had, let's say, remember the Titanic, why do you think the women and children, I'm giving the Titanic not because I like the idea of Titanic, I don't like it, but in wars, women or disasters, women and children were the first one to be saved. Why? It's not because they were considered, first, they're more vulnerable for the physical attributes, but they were thinking about the perpetuation of the species, which is, the children, the future of the tribe, the women, the birth givers. I mean, you can have one man impregnate 1,000 women, but you can have 1,000 men impregnate one woman. It's going to be one boy, one girl, whatever is going to be born out of it. So that's why this was the main reason strategically for the survival of the tribe, the strength of the tribe or the nation. Now gets me to the present. Present days is not necessarily the muscular composition, which obviously men have more durability, have maybe not they have because of their physical structure. They're taller, bigger, stronger, more muscular mass, big lung capacity, bigger heart, not in the loving department, but bigger hearts and all that, that play a role in your overall physical abilities. Now, I will also mention, for instance, that I will mention actually two events. One, my personal experience, and the other one, an example given by the tennis player, the crazy one, John McEnroe, if you remember that guy. So you have, let's say with my experience, I was involved at the highest levels of the martial arts on this planet. I've been in competitions. I met world champions, females and males. So I met both of them. I guarantee you that if you take the, I don't want to say average, maybe a little bit of average. Let's say from zero abilities, 10 the best. Let's say the 10 is the best in the world martial arts. Let's take the abilities. A man, let's say the world champion or the best guy is 10 in men. A woman, the world champion, would be a 6 at the most. So if there would be like this, there would be no contest. The woman would lose very quickly. And that's what I observed, what I encountered. I fought. When you fight and you train, you fight, women, you fight men and so on. I fought both. I fought champions, and I was the champion, so I know how it is. So nevertheless, that's my direct experience with this. Secondly, John McEnroe and Serena Williams. Remember, American tennis players. One is a male, the other one is a female. Now, Serena Williams, I think, when she was in top shape, that she could beat anyone, anytime, at any place, wherever. I don't like her personally. I think she has a shitty character, but she's over there to play tennis, not to be a role model in a character, even though she has to behave in a certain way when she goes to Wimbledon and dances a creep dance over there. You know what I mean? Creeps dance. All right. I don't like that because there are certain rules that we like to follow certain regulations. Nevertheless, she wants to prove her point. She's what she is. I don't care. She's a good, very good, one of the best tennis player. I think right now, even right now, I mean, she's very good. She was. I don't know how she's right now, but she needed 5 minutes of training and beat the number one whenever she went back. So they told me that number one, an ATP was, nevertheless. So she was great, fantastic. Now we have McEnroe, good player, crazy guy, and so on. And he created a problem, outrage when he said that, well, Serena, I mean, men are stronger and better in tennis than women if you put them one-on-one. A man will beat a woman, we win, champions. And everybody was, oh my God, so sexist. And he stood his ground. And I admire this courage, but his courage was coming from his craziness. But he told the truth, and said, remember, if Serena would will lose from if she would play against an average tennis player, she would lose. Everybody, oh my God, how can you say that? Why? They intertwined politics with physiology and reality. So politics told them that you can't say that. Reality is on McEnroe's side. And he said, well, remember when Serena Williams was ranked number one on the ATP, she played against a guy 200 in the men ATP, and she lost 6-1, 6-0, just like that, bam, bam, bam. You watch it. The interview is over there on YouTube. And that's true. And he said everybody will beat her in the first 200 in the men ATP ranking. And everybody was, oh my God. And he said, yeah, but remember, she lost then. And you give the example. So the same with women. The women can be in the army, because nowadays you use an automatic weapon. You push some buttons, you look over there for some guidance and so on. You can, but in active combat, I'm talking. But a woman would not be maybe as able, for instance, to march as long as a man. Not because she's incapable of being the desire. It's just her physical abilities from the beginning will be lower than a man's. Now you can have weak men, and a woman be obviously better than that man. Men are not all, you know what I mean, as women are not all whatever. So you can use women, obviously, they can go in the military, but you lose the procreation aspect. And the other one, you can't sometimes use them in certain operations, I would say, because of the physiological realities and limitations. If they want to serve, let them go. But The standards should be there. You can't bend the standards. Why? Because when I'm on a mission and I have 3 women with me and we have to move swiftly about 30 miles in a very short period of time, and we go and my life is in danger, I do not have time to really stay at the latest efforts. It's true that even if I would be with 3 other men, we can't be at the same level of abilities. Maybe I'll be weaker than the other ones, and they have to wait for me, and they would not like it. That's true. But on the other hand, most likely, or again, probabilities will show me that I don't want. They have to pass certain tests. They have to standards, because my life is in danger and your life is in danger, and the mission is going to be impaired because of these inabilities. I would really, I think they are able to shoot right. I think there could be experts in that, snipers. They could even, shoot a lot of rounds and all that. That's good. But I'm afraid with this kind of shortcomings. But they could be overcome by training, and only certain people, like in the military, like in special forces, only a few can go over there. Why? Because those will be pushed to extreme. And if you pass those tests and the training, look at the French Foreign Legion, the same way. All right, it's hard. It's hard as hell. But that's why not anyone can do that. A lot of people drop out of that. Why? Because the requirements, they don't want to have lower standards. Lower standards, mission might fail. Possibilities are increasing that the mission will not be successful. You can't afford that. You play with a country, you play with people's lives, and with a nation, with the tribe. Thank you very much for being with me again. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.